This 25-year-old kid knows exactly how I'm going to die just from this.
I think you're gonna die of disease.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me introduce you to this crazy guy.
Hi, Nas Daily. My name's Keon, and I think I can save millions of lives.
Keon grew up in Brooklyn as the son of a doctor. But one day, his cousin passed away in her sleep suddenly at age 14. And his uncle also died suddenly from a heart attack, and no one knew why.
I was so inspired to think about how can I make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else in the world.
Instead of just taking blood tests, Keon started researching something else: our DNA.
50% of diseases are genetic. What that means is the day you're born, you can actually predict how you're going to die. But in knowing what your fate is, you can prevent it altogether. So where a blood test tells you about today, a genetic test tells you about tomorrow. Without your DNA, you have an incomplete picture of your health.
We can know our ancestry from DNA, but we can also know if we have risk for cancer, heart attacks, diabetes, Alzheimer's. All the stuff that can kill us is in our DNA. And in 2025, it finally became cheap enough to test our DNA for thousands of diseases. This is the big idea.
If you think of your DNA like a 1,000-page book, it used to cost $100 million to read every page. Now, because of the wonders of technology and innovation, it's now cheap enough to not look at one chapter, two chapters, but to look at the entire book.
So, at age 19, Keon dropped out of university, raised millions of dollars, built a world-class team, and created the world's first DNA company that tests for health. It's called Nucleus. This is like the real thing.
Yeah, I really know.
You have migraines and
Yeah.
it says 28% chance of migraine.
And which is double the population expectancy.
Double.
Yeah, so the models can basically tell you a 10x difference in your risk across every single common disease.
I love this. And all of this used to cost $100 million.
Yes, exactly.
And now it costs $430. From one DNA swab, I found out I have a higher risk for heart attack. From one DNA swab, Keon found out he has a higher risk for migraines.
Genetically, I have more migraines. It wasn't actually because of the food I was eating or the sleep I was getting. It was actually because of genetics.
This stuff you cannot know even from a blood test. And the good news is you can take control of your DNA. With this information, you can change your lifestyle. You can exercise more, take medicine, eat better. You can do so much to reduce the risk of dying from the things you were born with.
Knowledge is power. And by knowing what you're at risk for, you can spend decades longer with all your loved ones. Who wouldn't want that?
We can extend our life just from a simple DNA swab. Woo!